Welcome. If you're an American over 50 thinking about visiting Australia, there's something important I'd love you to know first. Australia is an incredible destination, but many don't realize just how big this island nation is. It's also one of those places that rewards thoughtful planning. Rushed decisions can cause expensive mistakes that could spoil your Australia experience. And over the years, I've noticed something very interesting. Many visitors to Australia feel overwhelmed before they even book their trip. Today, I'm going to explain why that happens and how to create an itinerary that feels right for you while making the planning process feel simple again. Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm LeeAnne Talbot Moore from Your Australia Travel Guide. I am Australian born and bred, with 35 years in the travel industry. I specialise in helping Americans over 50 plan, in inverted commas, relaxed trips to Australia. 10 of those years were as a tour guide for Americans visiting Australia. I bring Australian warmth and American practicality to the planning process because I understand both cultures. Australia isn't hard, but it is different. The distances are real, and weather changes dramatically between regions. The travellers who feel calm and confident about their trip usually don't see more. They simply plan smarter. Just quickly before we start, I'll just let you know I started this channel to create helpful videos on all aspects of Australia trip planning for Americans. There will be a new video every week on topics including how long to stay, perfect times to come, safety tips, best places to visit and stay, etc. Watching videos on this channel will save you from the mistakes I've seen so many others make. So we would really love it if you would hit this video's like button and subscribe to support the channel. So because Australia is vast, your trip here requires strategic planning. Distances and climate variations are significant and therefore impact travel design. Let's start with hurdle number 1, the unavoidable long flight. For many Americans, that 15 to 20-hour journey feels like a mountain to climb before the holiday has even started. It is a significant mental hurdle, and when the journey feels heavy, planning starts to feel heavy too. It is therefore crucial to plan rest aligned with your destination's time zone, stay hydrated during the flight due to dry cabin air, and move regularly by walking the aisle. These strategies help mitigate energy deficits and prevent feeling overwhelmed upon arrival. If you'd like to know more about this, I have a detailed future video coming about how to plan for the long flight, so keep an eye out for that video coming soon. Let's move on to hurdle number 2, the scale trap. Australia's vastness is often underestimated. It's comparable in size to the continental United States. A Sydney to Perth flight takes 5 hours. Attempting to explore it all in a week is impractical. If you do, you'll spend too much of your precious vacation time in transit at airports instead of actually experiencing Australia. The solution? Focus on a few regions for a much richer experience, or consider extending your stay or planning a second trip for a more enjoyable, fulfilling, and most importantly, relaxed visit. And here is hurdle number 3, the climate puzzle. Australia's climate varies significantly, much like the United States actually. While the Great Barrier Reef is warm in winter, Melbourne and Tasmania require a really good coat, hats and gloves. Planning a trip that includes Sydney, the Reef, Uluru and Melbourne involves navigating multiple climate zones. Timing and destination choices are therefore crucial for a seamless itinerary. We actually have a popular video already on the channel called The Best Time to Visit Australia from America. This video walks through 3 perfect or best times to come here. I recommend watching that video after this one. I will pop a link to that video in the description below. That brings us to hurdle number 4. The 4th hurdle has nothing to do with geography. It's mindset. Many of my American clients initially feel guilty spending extra on comfort, a better plane seat, a direct flight, a central hotel. But when you're traveling in your senior years, comfort is not an indulgence, it's a strategy. It protects your energy, your health, and your enjoyment. Because if you arrive exhausted, sore, and depleted, you may lose the first few days of the trip recovering. and those days matter a lot. You've traveled halfway around the world for this experience. So I always encourage people to shift from asking, how do we save money on every detail, to asking, how do we protect our energy for the moments that matter most? That one mindset shift changes everything. Now, I understand budget will also be an important consideration. So just adopting one or a few of these strategies will make a big difference. Because once you understand these four things, the long-haul flight, Australia's true size, our regional climates, and planning for comfort, the overwhelm usually starts to lift. That's exactly why I created a free guide called Before You Plan Australia, What I Tell My American Clients Over 50. It's not an itinerary, it's not a packing checklist, and it's definitely not a brochure, it's perspective, the kind that helps you make better decisions early about distance, timing, pacing, and comfort. Get your free copy from the link in the description below. This simple and brief guide will help you to start with clarity, not overwhelm. If you're comparing regions or deciding how long to stay, take half an hour with the guide. Read it slowly. Australia isn't going anywhere. Questions? Leave them in the comments below. I check for them regularly, and we release weekly videos based on these questions to help Americans like you to plan your Australian trip. And before we finish, I want to share something really valuable to anyone planning a trip to Australia. It's called the Ultimate Australia Planning Guide. I am creating this specifically for Americans over 50 who want to plan Australia with confidence. Where my other guides are brief, the Ultimate Guide will be packed full of all the information you could ever need. I am designing it similar to a private consultation, and it will first be available to those on the priority waitlist. Because the truth is, most people don't realize how easy it is to make costly mistakes when planning Australia. From choosing the wrong route, to trying to see too much, to booking internal flights that waste valuable days, to visiting regions at the wrong time of year, or most commonly, creating an itinerary that looks good on paper but feels exhausting in reality. That's why I am creating this guide. Inside, we'll walk you through how to build an itinerary that actually works, which regions make sense together, how to protect your time and energy, accommodation strategies for comfort and convenience, the common mistakes I see again and again, and when professional help can genuinely make your trip better. So instead of spending months piecing together conflicting advice online, you can begin with a clear framework that makes the whole process feel simpler. The guide is almost ready, and I'll be releasing it first to those who join the priority waitlist. So if Australia is genuinely on your radar, use the waitlist link in the description below the video and add your name today. That way you'll be first to receive it when it launches. And you'll begin planning from a place of clarity, not confusion. Because a trip this important deserves to be done properly. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.